and Brownie, the podcast.
Well, here we are. I woke up this morning.
Whoa, what the hell is that noise?
Buzzing.
It sounds like
What
one of
the
us is getting tased. Let me check around.
Yeah, I remember
here.
that time. I remember getting tased once
Boop.
with Simon Black.
You
there we go.
fixed it, Dino.
I fixed it, mate.
It didn't feel like that or sound like that.
What sound did you make when you were tased?
No, I just went stiff. I went stiff as a board.
No.
Whoa!
And no sound.
I was stiff as a honeymooners. You know what's Christine Swan.
I don't
but
know.
Check.
No sound except Simon Black made the sound of turn it off.
Which was much more than he said on the entire season of Survivor.
It was. It was.
Bless him.
But it's a horrifying feeling.
Huge show. We should do that as a wacky FM radio stunt one day.
Oh, for sure.
Pang's phone is coming up today. The genius mind of Shaun Micallef's coming up.
I'm excited to see Shaun Micallef in the flesh.
So am I.
It's been years.
Absolutely. Titus is in. But next we're going to talk about the huge Ash Barty news yesterday.
Massive.
Real shock, eh?
Yeah, it was a shock.
But by the way,
Yeah.
13, 24, 10, if you'd like to come to our damn comedy festival
It
show.
is our best outside broadcast of the year. It's probably our only one, but it's also our best.
Get brekkie. You get to hang out with us.
Yeah.
And the food at the town hall's underrated.
Correct. Delicious little breakfast box for you for sure, and a cuddle from Pang.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Make up for missed holidays with whatif.com this Easter.
Ocean view apartment for me, water park for the kids. Plus, select hotels are fully refundable. Booking cancellation windows apply.
What if is Aussie for travel?
Check government advisories before booking and travelling.
I love this. It's hilarious. Not Ash Barty retiring.
No.
Christine Swan's holding her microphone like Johnny Farnham style.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Yes, I do. I feel like Johnny Farnham or
You do.
Freddie Mercury, and I'm here for it.
Come on, give us a little bit of
I'm
freedom,
holding
Dino.
it.
That's what we need because
Do we
her
need-
microphone has just fallen off the desk. Mic stand and all. So she's currently holding the mic stand in her hand. Christine Swan.
I'm upstanding.
This
holding
isn't
it now.
because
You
you
look
took
like
a-
Johnny Farnham.
This is not the chainsaw one either. This is a separate microphone.
Separate mic.
There's a song in the heart, a race in the wind, a light in the dark. And it's got a long. If you're listening and you're like, what does it look like? It's a long one.
Hey, I'm just taking a photo on air, Christine. Geez, you are Farnham.
Yeah.
You've got Farnham nailed.
I need a big black coat.
Just like Johnny Farnham, hopefully this is just one of many retirements for Ash Barty. See what I did that?
Hey,
See what I
Mount, hit
did
that
then?
applause button.
Hey, that was a pretty good segue, wasn't it?
The best segue.
Because she's already retired once as a youngster when she was about 21, and now she's retired again at the ripe old age of 25.
25.
It's amazing, isn't it? So, Ash Barty, we all love Ash Barty, don't we?
Yes.
Three-time Grand Slam
It was
winner.
big news yesterday. It's going to be big news for a while. Did she
Absolutely.
highlight the reasons why? I only got halfway through her interview with her friend Casey Delacroix.
It was interesting, yeah. It was a great interview she did with Casey Delacroix. It went for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah.
When was the thing? Because she only just won the Australian Open.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago. I was there, Christine Swan,
Yeah.
with the Trade Institute of Victoria, and I'm hoping to try and get them over the line for a sponsorship for Ask Brownie, you know what I mean?
I feel like there was an announcement about that.
Oh, there may be an
We don't
announcement
know.
coming. We don't know. We're
All
not
right,
sure. But I
okay.
did a lot of work that night watching Ash Barty. It was so exciting being there. You think, shit, she's at the top of her game.
Oh, yeah. Here you go, brother. Sorry.
Wimbledon last year changed a lot for me as a person and for me as an athlete when you work so hard your whole life for one goal. I just had that gut feeling after Wimbledon. There was just a little part of me that wasn't quite satisfied, wasn't quite fulfilled. And then came the challenge of the Australian Open. And I think that for me just feels like the most perfect way to celebrate what an amazing journey my tennis career has been. I want to chase after some other dreams that I've always wanted to do, and I'm really, really excited.
So she's leaving on a high. She's doing the
Absolutely.
equivalent of a stand-up comedian, killing it with a joke. Everyone's laughing, everyone's applauding, and they go, thank you very much, good night.
I know. No encore. Just
No.
off to the dressing room, into the darkness.
I like
and into
it.
the night.
I think it's genius.
Unbelievable. So clearly she's made a lot of money, Christine Swan, but she's never been driven by that. She's a very
No.
humble lady. She loves her sport. Remember, she has played T20
Yes.
for Brisbane Heat in the women's cricket.
I forgot that.
Absolutely. She's got a golf handicap of 3. her husband. So there's talk that she may want to join the golf tour.
She's got a handicap of 3.
Mate, she won the club championship.
Is there anything this woman can't do?
It's amazing. She won the club championship, Dino, in 2020 at her local golf club in Brisbane at Brookwater.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. So, hey, she's got her name on an honour board, which, you know...
Does anyone else in here have their name on it?
Hard thing to do to get your name put up there in perpetuity, Christine, on a golf club board.
Does anyone have, say, I don't know, the title of the A.H. Neil
Perpetual
Trophy winners?
Maybe that's what she's chasing next.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to come down to our golf club.
Contact her and find out.
23 mil she's got in prize money.
23 mil, it's amazing.
That's only prize money.
Absolutely. She got some great sponsors. So 3 years as number one, or 121 weeks, as number one. There's only 3 or 4 other women that have done that. Steffi Graf. Great legs 11, Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova,
big names,
and Chris Evett. I can't remember the other one.
Chris Evett Lloyd when she got married.
Chris Evett Lloyd, absolutely. I think she was knocking off Greg Norman, the Shark,
I
there
think
for a while.
I think she was. He may offer you a tidbit.
Oh, please.
I think I may have been named after Chris Evett Lloyd.
Is that right?
I'll have to look into the years, but yes, my dad thought it was a great name for a woman.
The Major had something for Chris.
I think so.
In her prime. Why wouldn't he? And then, she spoke about Swanee. I'm just going to paraphrase this for her, but she went to a visit to Uluru recently, and she was inspired by she did some visit to the Indigenous communities because she's Indigenous herself. So I think that's part of her next chapter. She wants to help, especially Indigenous kids, fulfill their dreams.
I love this.
Which is a great thing to do, isn't it?
It is so great. And you really can't do both properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because tennis is, you're all in.
It's a huge
Chips in the
focus.
table, and you're travelling away a lot.
Do some good work on the side, but if it's really in your heart that that's what you want to do, you do need to clear the schedule a bit.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping next week to talk to Ben Crow, who's essentially her life coach and her personal coach, who used to be my manager.
I follow him on Instagram. He's amazing.
He's amazing.
Mojo Crow.
Reached out to Crowy last night, and he said, look, they've agreed, the whole team, not to do media for a few days.
Okay.
But happy to come on next week and have a chat about and give us an insight into Ash Barty and what's driven her throughout her career and what will drive her going forward. So well done, Ash Barty.
Love her.
I'm not going to. I was about to say valet, but valet to your tennis career.
I think we'll be seeing more of her, which is a good thing.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Time for...
I wrote it up and sent it in, my opinion in the paper. It's time for your say.
Hilly from Morwell must have heard that I am filling in for Carrie Bickmore on the project in that fancy chair, reading the news, etc. Because she says, who on earth watches the project anyway? Anyway, no one that I know of.
Whoa!
Hilly, be watching from the 4th of April.
Yes, Monday you will be, Swanee.
Your gal
And
will be
Hilly,
there.
just stop being mean.
Stop being mean, Hilly. What about Arch from Seaford? I remember Arch. My front fence needs a good coat of paint, but every time I try to tackle it, I find Anthony Albanese sitting on it.
Boom!
It's not Glenn Archer, is it?
No.
Former shin bunner of the century.
No, it is not. Albo. Margaret from Bacchus Marsh says, I'm surprised Daniel Andrews hasn't put us in lockdown because of the Japanese encephalitis virus. A ring of steel around Melbourne to turn those mozzies back, eh, Dan?
Hot take!
You know, I was thinking today, what's happened to, was it Dan Sutton? No, not Dan Sutton. Brett
Sutton. Hot.
Jeez.
He was objectified on a daily basis.
Is he still hot? It's been a while since we've seen him.
Oh, yeah, that sort of hotness doesn't just disappear overnight.
Ash, were you digging Sutton or is it just Swanee?
Oh, my God, are you joking? Every woman.
Brett Sutton, are you kidding?
What's happened to Sutton?
Where is he?
Well, things have eased, so they're not doing the daily press conferences anymore.
Yes, but
which
he's
means
still alive.
Yeah, he's still around.
I think he's been kidnapped.
Jace.
No,
He's
still around.
huge on Twitter, Brownie. He's got 166,000 followers.
Oh, well, that's the goal in life.
Tweets like daily.
It just means we don't get to see him daily, though.
I'm not on Twitter. Can you direct message him and say, please send a recent photograph holding up the newspaper so that we know that it's today?
I think that's on OnlyFans. He's got an OnlyFans account too.
He should, man.
He should.
We should.
Ash, I'll go your halvers in the subscription.
Sounds good.
Lucky the dog from Maribyrnong says, I'm a Maltese cross, but forget to feed me and I identify as a pit bull.
Because he's hungry?
That is a thinly veiled swipe at transgender people, which I think is always great.
Yeah, people can't deal with that at
No,
the
they
moment.
can't,
Get
no.
over it.
P from Heidelberg says, the CBD should now be referred to as the former CBD. That's a working from home gag.
I know. It's a ghost town at the moment.
It's not.
I was in the casino yesterday.
Maybe it's quiet at the casino.
Yeah.
But the city's vibing. Femi from Endeavour Hill says, has there been a rebranding of our favourite sport, AFLM, Australian Football League of Mullets? I must say, I tuned into the football the other day and I thought, geez, everyone's got that hairdo
I know
now.
they do, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a big thing because they tried to follow Dusty there for a while, but now the mullet's taken off, including the boundary umpire at the Geelong Essendon game, Swanee. Did you see the permed mullet on the boundary
I
umpire?
did not see
it was
that.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ed Weber from Malvern East has a comment on the petrol prices. Are you sweating every time you put petrol in your car and feeling sick when you pay for it? You have car owner virus.
Good to have a petrol
And let's
car.
finish with Barry from Brunswick. It's very topical. This is an Ash Barty comment. Richmond have added Ash Barty as a top-up player. Go Tigers.
Ever wanted to offer the team some direct feedback? Well, you can. Shoot us an email at breakfast@nova100.com.au to be part of Chrissie, Sam and Brownie's mailbag.
Well, I don't believe my eyes. Mr. Wonderful, Hangy, has come in early for this interview. How do you feel? Finger sign, real mature.
Jason Clarke and Quincy Isaiah. They're here to talk about a brand new series on Binge called Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Jason portrays former player and coach Jerry West, and Quincy plays legend Magic Johnson. You can stream Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty on Binge with new episodes dropping every Monday. Here's Jason and Quincy.
Welcome to the show, superstars. We're thrilled to have you.
Oh, lovely introduction. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Although I do want to take a little bit of a thing there. I think Jerry West is a legend too. He's the logo, so we can give Magic legend, but I think Jerry wants a bit of legend too.
Yeah, all right. He can have it. He can bloody have it.
Thank you very much.
So do you know what Jason's talking about? You know, in the NBA, you love your basketball.
Oh, yeah.
But the actual NBA logo is a silhouette of Jerry West. That's how big he is. Is that
Wow.
right, Jace?
I didn't realise that.
So he's on every single basketball there is.
Every jersey,
in the world.
all of it.
Jason, from what I gather, this is Quincy's second acting credit. He did a short film in 2018, and now he's in a series with you, John C. Reilly, and Sally Field. Have you been tempted to tell Quincy that show business is actually not this easy?
Oh, dude, you have it. It doesn't come along like this very often. And to walk straight into it. Yeah, Over years ago, somebody, we're at the Venice Film Festival, and one of the photographers just come up and said, "Just Jace, enjoy, smile. You're not always going to be opening the Venice Film Festival, mate. It doesn't happen very often." And that was the last time I opened the Venice Film Festival.
He was absolutely right.
Quincy, are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh man, it's a heck of a ride, and I'm just taking it all in while I go.
Quincy, as part of the auditions, did you have to show your basketball prowess?
Oh yeah, that was the last part. I had to prove I could act first, and then the basketball audition came later. And Rick Fox put me through the ringer on that one, so I made it out. It was tough. But
How tall are you?
6'3".
So Magic is taller than that. Did they have to build the set to make you look taller?
Well, they did what they needed to do to make me appear taller. I'm not gonna tell too much, but yeah, we tricked the camera a few times. So.
I thought so.
Quincy plays basketball in stilts when you watch it, Swanee. You'll love it. You'll love it. Jason, can I also ask, because I always argue about Jason, so I've loved Jason Clarke for a long time, right? Because I feel as I was one of the few people watching you on the big screen who knew that you were Australian, Jason. Yeah, when you're in Zero Dark 30 or Public Enemies with Johnny Depp, and we're going... That that national pride you get when you see an Aussie. At least I still had that. I feel like the country was not behind me, Jace. Do you get a lot of that? People didn't know you're Australian, did they?
No, I still come home and I get people saying, "Geez, you got a really good Australian accent." You know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm happy with that. You know, people out there that want to watch, they watch. I come home and I have my family and I live here and I go to my fish and chip shop and go to the beach and hang out and. It's all good, you know.
Jason,
really
what's your fish and chip shop order?
I'm a calamari man, you know what I mean?
Oh, no. Wow, someone's doing well.
I love John C. Reilly's character, boys. Do you think he was channeling his character from Boogie Nights at all? He plays the owner, Jerry Bass. Remember his character from Boogie Nights, Reed Rothschild? I feel like there was a bit of that in his character.
Oh, there's a lot. There's a bit of Dirt Diggler in there where he played that character. That the open shirt, the well-stacked pants.
And John absolutely kills it.
Yeah.
So charming. And that smile, everything. He's incredible. So,
is it true that John C. Reilly has a room full of clown portraits?
Actually, funny you should say that.
Have you been in it, Jason?
I've been in it.
Wow.
What? Really? Literally, yeah, like a week ago for the first time. Not many people go down to get to see the clown room, apparently. I went around there. We actually...
What's the clown room?
What? Yeah.
How do y'all know about the clown room?
Yeah, what's going on with this clown room? Hey. I was around there. We were actually going to see the Lakers. And so we went around his place first just for a catch-up and come down here, Jace. Check this out. As you go down the stairs, and there's just these portraits of these clowns everywhere.
Is it dimly lit, Jason? Please describe it exactly.
Terrifying.
Well, you go down the stairs. He's got a very beautiful kind of like Spanish architecture thing. You get down there and you start seeing these clowns appear. And then you keep turning and spinning, and there's beautiful portraits. Proper portraits. Not little pictures or whatever, oil and canvas.
Is there a dress up? Is there a dress ups corner if you want to?
No, but you're always, with John, you don't, you dress to impress, dress to express. Don't just, rock up in your board shorts and your thongs.
Wow.
I'm sorry, this interview's taken a bit of a turn there. We apologise for that.
No, go for it, John. I'm happy to talk about John's clowns.
Brownie. We usually finish with your big question, but Swanee, Chrissie and I would like to apologise in advance, Jason and Quincy, for the following question.
Terrible question.
We know that actors don't like to be asked it, but Brownie, he's very, very stubborn and he's asked it of everyone.
Who do you want me to ask? I should ask Jason because he's one of our greatest products, our greatest exports, I would say, in the acting industry. Jason
It's the
Clarke.
7th year of this cringeworthy question. It doesn't get any easier.
Now, boys,
is this bread being buttered at the moment? What's going on?
Now listen to this, boys. I debuted this question on Kurt Russell and Samuel L. Jackson.
They weren't happy with it either.
Sam's not funny. He's not shy about expressing it either.
Come on. Jason Clarke, how do you remember your lines?
How do you remember your line?
Yeah, that's what he said, Quincy. That's what he asked Samuel L. Jackson.
You heard right. You heard. Yeah.
Well, I haven't gone the full Marlon Brando route. I don't tape them to somebody else.
Put them at their chest.
Although I have done that. Helen Mirren had a great because she had so many lines when I did the Catherine the Great with her that she did have somebody would have a big iPad for some of those speeches, and you just keep referencing it. I'll answer it seriously, Brownie.
Thank you, Jason.
I don't remember lines. I learn thoughts.
There you go.
And if there's a point where I can't remember or it doesn't come out, that it means I haven't made that connection. So I still need to work that out. And it's just a way of kind of keeping, alive, putting more pressure on yourself to just really work your way through what you're saying, meaning what you're saying, saying what you mean.
It's a very beautiful question.
And generous.
Very beautiful answer to it.
What did Sam Jackson tell you to do?
Right.
Well,
he said, it's my job.
Stream winning time. The rise of the Lakers dynasty. We've been waiting for this for so long. It's on binge with new episodes dropping every Monday. Jason Clarke and Quincy Isaiah. Thank you so much.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Well, good morning, Melbourne. And as if your day couldn't get any better, it is Thursday. Hand meat to our friend Sam Payne.
Hand meat, Melbourne.
Hand meat, Sam.
Hand meat, Swanee.
Great show last night.
Hand meat, dinner.
Hand meat, brother.
Hand meat, Brownie.
Last night?
It was.
Front bar.
Oh, great. Right. So, but why be insincere? You didn't watch it. That's
Always
fine.
a great show, though.
You were watching the Sonny Bill Williams, Barry Hall fight, were you?
All 6 hours of it.
Which one did you watch, Brownie? You had a choice. Front bar last night with Gil and Peter Dacos, or Sonny Bill Williams and Barry Festival Hall?
Yeah, well, Barry Festival Hall was on a long way after yours, Sam, but I watched the... I started on yours, and then I watched the...
pugilism.
Yeah, you love
pugilism, and Dave Gleeson of the Screaming Jets, just knocking out the... he's a pre-match entertainment, the pre-fight entertainment set. You couldn't match Gleeson.
How long did Gleeson sing for?
Well, Better goes for about 3 minutes, 48 seconds, but he did a 9-minute version of it.
Did he? So it went to 8 minutes longer than the fight.
Words can't describe what happened on the telly.
We'll have them ready because we've got some, tropical stuff soon. So, and then obviously the result of the fight will be mentioned. But
I can't wait.
Feels like there was plenty going on around it.
I can't wait to hear. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the full rundown before 9 o'clock. But before we move on to the next song.
Yeah.
Did you ask Peter Dacos my snake wheelie bin ballroom question? Samuel Pang.
I'll answer your question with a question. Do you think I did?
No.
Correct. Mate, we had a bit in there.
So he did in the green room, mate.
I had it as a backup, ready to go. You know,
you didn't.
If one of Mickey's jokes fell flat. Jeez, I should have gone with it. No.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
How about some tropical stuff?
But you never asked.
I've got plenty, by the way. Obviously, yesterday, I'm pretty sure everyone would know, of course, the Ash Barty announcement. Shock retirement.
25.
The opposite of yours.
Inevitable.
The inevitable retirement. Yeah, she retired at the age of 25. Wow. Which is quite amazing.
Quite young.
But you get genuinely, I know there'll be a lot of cliches today, but peak of her powers, world number one, just won a Grand Slam. And that stumps, apparently.
And too, when, obviously Serena's past her prime, close to retirement, Naomi Osaka has dropped out of the top 50. So she seems to be the only dominant woman.
I'm pretty sure Serena's 40.
Yeah.
If you talk about longevity and all that, 15 years, Ash Barty's just retired 15 years before Serena, who's still going. So, wow.
Pangy, allow me, if you will,
please,
to use the parlance from your industry, stand-up comedy. Ash Barty has done the equivalent of a comedian killing it with a set, still having a few more jokes, but realising that was the high point and saying, thank you very much, good night.
That's right.
And off.
And out. Even though there is still some in the tank.
This is
You should have done that at Mildura after your second last
You should have done that in 2007.
Fight. Hit him.
Instead, you kept going for 9 more years. Now, listen, what about... I don't know what happened there.
Sweet payroll.
That's true. Will, this is her second retirement. Do you think this is it?
It seems like it. They seem pretty convinced that she looks like she wants some other challenges in her life, whether it be in the sporting field or with the Indigenous communities. She
feels as though she can actually just do whatever she wants.
Agreed.
It's amazing. 25. The great Titus O'Reily will be up after 7:30. I'm sure he's going to cover it. But one of the things that she mentioned was she misses being misses her family, being away from her family. When are these athletes going to realise that spending time with your family is very overrated? And the last one to do it was Tom Brady, Brownie, who lasted 40 days.
Yes.
40 days.
Yeah.
That might be an insight into what she's thinking because she doesn't have children and she is married, so maybe motherhood is something that she wants to
that's a good point.
Path.
Tom Brady couldn't stand being home with his family, his kids, and Giselle Bundchen for 40 days. That's all he could do with it before he said, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to play that game.
How many kids does Tom Brady have?
I think he's got 4.
No,
he's got 3. I think he's 3 with Giselle
and
1 with Bridget Moynihan.
By the way,
remember Moynihan?
Yeah, I do.
What was she in?
The Recruit with Pacino and Colin Farrell.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you.
That should never be forgotten what you just did there.
It's just a human version of Hollywood Google.
Very a walking IMDb page.
Yes,
you are.
thank you.
This is my favourite ever retirement too, by the way. I haven't ruled her coming back. She could come back she could take 3 years off and come back and still be young.
Absolutely.
But we played this on Front Bar last week. I was going through some Scotty Palmer, who passed away. He was the
doyen.
He was the doyen of news breaking and entertainment back in the 80s.
Football.
He reported on this retirement from Geelong's Gary Malarkey, Swanee.
Good evening, and it's great to have you back on Punchlines. Gary Malarkey retired last Saturday. He reconsidered it on Sunday, and yesterday told Geelong he'd be back in action next Saturday.
He's retired for 1 day, Gary Malarkey.
That was magnificent.
That's fantastic.
He retired on Sunday. He reconsidered on Sunday.
Reconsidered on
He'll be back in
Sunday.
action on Sunday.
So quick was the turnaround. It was, you could name the days. on which it
The great thing about that retirement, Swanee, is effectively Scotty Palmer could have just said, Gary Malarkey, he played last week and he's playing next week as well. Like, there was hardly any retirement. I don't know how much time we got left, but we wanted to get to the Shadow Treasurer, because I didn't even know who the Shadow Treasurer was, Brandon.
Me neither.
David Davis.
What do you do now?
He's deeply remorseful for drinking too much at the Victorian Multicultural Commission dinner on Saturday night. Witnesses have reported that he was heavily intoxicated.
Ouzo and Coke.
Yeah.
Was it Ouzo and
One of the
Coke?
great. I just made that up.
Probably was.
One of the greats.
Mr. Davis, I acknowledge I had too much to drink at a public function. My favourite description of the night was someone was quoted as saying, "Oh yeah, he was hammered." Hammered's underrated to describe boozy people.
Absolutely.
The red wine was flowing.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He had the free driver out the front.
What's your favourite? Because you're all over this.
I love it. This is one of the quotes from The Age. Before his colleagues tried to force him out, some of his own colleagues are trying to get him out of the function. Witnesses said he was behaving in a manner that was making people uncomfortable, including hugging men and women and talking in close proximity to people who did not want to engage with him. Vote for him, man.
Yes.
Don't you love those?
I think this is happening more and more as we come out of lockdown, because you don't know how much you drink anymore. You don't know. You're so excited.
It's social excitement.
Absolutely. It's better to be hammered, though, than army hammered.
Hammered.
Yeah.
Army hammered. Now, listen, you've got about 40 seconds, you two. Sonny Bill Williams knocked out Barry Hall last night in less than 2 minutes, right? So Stan have picked up a pretty $50 that you paid for. Not you two, of course.
No.
But
haven't paid for
listen,
anything.
the fight went for less than 2 minutes. Sonny Bill Williams knocked Barry Hall out. What else you got for us?
Was that unexpected?
We don't have enough time. We'll do it at 8:50.
Who sang the national anthem?
No, the dude from the Screaming Jets came out.
Dave Gleason.
Really took it for a walk.
Did a 9-minute rendition of Better.
I've met Dave Gleason once, and the smell of wild turkey hit me long before he arrived.
I thought I was at the Callum Vale Hotel in the early 90s watching Dave Gleason in his prime.
The Croxton Park.
And then before the fight, right, Seb Casello's walking around with Danny Green saying, now this is world first access. Danny Green's going to walk into the change rooms to have an interview like he's David Attenborough.
That was hilarious.
Like he's
I couldn't believe my eyes.
What was the first thing they say? Danny sneaks into Barry's room as Baz has got the gloves on it.
Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to look.
What?
I'm just going to watch.
Oh, my
And then
God.
he just walks up to him and goes, how are you going to go tonight, big fella?
Mate. Oh, God, we really missed something special.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
There's an event on this week. Have you noticed good food and wine festivals happening? Nigella's been all over the place. I love this.
Has she done that thing with Preston yet?
She's about to, but it's all sold out. I tried to.
Of course it
Hey,
would
that
be.
thing with Preston, by the way, is not what you think. It's a in conversation.
Oh.
As opposed to what?
Well, you know, if you do that thing with someone, it might be, like a peep show. It's not.
Nice.
It's an in conversation. Clothes are on.
Why they didn't get you, Dino, I'll never...
Mate.
I know.
Matt's great. But
Idiots.
Do we have any of the chemistry that you shared with?
Might pop up
Might pop up later. But there is an event. There's so many events on in this beautiful city, and Maximum Chips is one that I need to draw your attention to.
Yeah, I'm in straight away as soon as you mention it.
Because how good are chips? Is there a finer snack? Maybe the potato gem edges out a little bit. But a good chip is a thing of great beauty. This is happening tomorrow night.
I think it's the apex predator of potato
I agree.
products.
I agree. I absolutely agree. All the chips are going to be there at this event. Crinkle cut, shoestring, French fry, maybe even a few potato gems, aforementioned. Dino, your eyes.
Some big names there.
My God. The last time I saw that face was on my own face when I got a fuzzy pump at barbershop under the Christmas tree in 1978.
Christ.
That's how excited you are.
Star-studded event.
Hot chips plus great drinks for the whole crew, and it's bottomless. I mean, bottomless fries. Come on, okay. It's part of the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. I'm big on a homemade chip, and back when I had, I guess, less of a life, I perfected the hot chip. So now, yes,
May
the
I
homemade
ask?
hot chip. Yes.
So I'm going to give you something that you didn't ask for, but chips they need to be crispy. They need to be, double fried, triple fried. They need to be crispy. Those soggy ones that are, I don't even know what they are.
Roll the intro, Dino.
Could be a muffin or toasted with brie. All we know is she's gonna cook it quickly. Watch it on Instagram to see. It's time for Cooking with Chrissie.
The best homemade chips. Here is the key.
Well, listen, you got form too. Your burger was one of the greats.
Very good.
I'll give you that.
Thank you. The toasted sandwich, the panwich.
Yeah, it's a sandwich.
It was very good, Samuel.
Mac and cheese, sausage rolls.
Thank you. I've got form. I mean, you wouldn't know it from my appearance on MasterChef, but I can cook.
One of the
can cook.
Great choke. Sal's Hall level. Barry Hall level.
Thank you.
Topical.
Now, the key here is that you're going to need a deep fryer. So you're going to have to shell out.
Already inaccessible. You've lost touch with the common person.
No, they're cheap. They're $50.
Cheap.
They're cheap.
Oh, 50. Yeah. Just hand them out to them. Why don't you go down the street and hand them out?
They're $50 or less. I'm sure you'll be able to get one less in that weird bit in Aldi occasionally, with a tent.
Deep fryer.
Something to wee in.
And you leave the oil in there.
Out.
Okay, see you then.
No, I'm just saying I'll stay. I'm just saying in general. Why can't you
Well, you can borrow mine. Or actually, no, look, if you've got a pot and a thermometer, it's about the temperature. You need the temperature.
Sorry to harass, but when you fill up the deep fryer,
yes,
and after you've used it,
yes,
what do you do with all that oil?
Well, it depends. You can decant it back into the bottle that you've used, or you could have sort of a week of deep frying stuff. So you could keep it on your bench and use that opportunity to make.
You can have a week of deep frying.
You can have you can have a deep fried festival.
So you can maybe have Val is still going, leaves the oil in there.
Yeah, that's right. If you're using it a bit, so if I do chips, maybe the next day I'll do zucchini flowers filled with ricotta and lemon zest, and I use it for that. But if you use, here is another tip: if you use it for fish, like if you be about a fish, the oil's done. So you have to put it in the pot,
just for chips,
and put it back in the pot and put it in the bin. Don't put it down your sink, because you'll get all sorts of problems. It'll block up, solidify. Back to chips. So you get a good potato, Sebago, whatever. They'll have it on the little bio that they have in the supermarket, which ones are good for chips. Chop them up into whatever size you want. Dry them off first. Then you put them in the basket.
And also a good tip for drying them off, put them in the oven for 10 minutes.
Yes, absolutely. You can do that.
Or the dryer.
Put them out in the sun.
Oh, come on, I don't really sound like that.
Stare them down.
Although a little bit.
You do.
Morning.
It is lovely. It's lovely though.
A little bit this morning.
Brady could dry out these chips by staring at them.
Sorry, Swanee.
You actually could. I reckon you could.
They're dry, Swanee.
Anyway, so they're dry and they're in fingers. You put them into the deep fryer until they look. And I know that this is not an exact science, but I'm an intuitive cook. I put them in until they look sweaty. So they're not going to be crispy. They just look sweaty and a bit pasty, like Jack on a Monday morning. Okay, so that's kind of the colour chart I'm going for. I'm like, does this look like Jack laying on the floor of the studio with fumes coming out of every pore in his body? Yes, they do. Out. Onto a tray or a container, into the freezer, and then you freeze them.
Are you insane?
No, I'm not.
It's a long process.
It is a long process, but the results, they speak for themselves, truly.
So if you want these chips on Friday, when do you start? Monday or Tuesday?
No, hey.
No, seriously though. No, straight away. Oh, I forgot the first point is that you boil the potatoes.
Yes, you can say that.
Is there anything you don't do to these
You boil them
You
first.
talk to them for a little while.
Listen.
Make love to them. Kiss them.
You kiss them. Kiss them all over. You boil them first. Then you fry them until they look like Jack on a Monday with a hangover. Then you freeze them so they've been twice cooked so far.
Yes.
Boiled, fried. Once they're frozen, then they can stay there for a week or whatever. So you can prep ahead. If you know you want it, on a Friday night, you can do this well in advance. And then the showstopper is when you bring them out of the freezer and you heat up the oil and you freeze them again, fry them again. They are crispy on the outside, like fluffy mash in the middle, and they work every single time. They are showstoppers.
So you've got to spare 8 hours today. There you go. You'll have some nice chips.
If you don't have...
Thank you for your unusual support.
I've got one last question.
Yeah.
If you don't have a deep fryer...
Yes.
What's the temperature of that oil if you're doing it like just with a pot on top of the stove?
I think Titus is here.
Oh, my
Hey,
God.
if you don't have a deep fryer, 13 24 10, we're giving away deep fryers.
This will change your life and put on at least 8 to 10 kilos.
Call now.
Nova.
Chrissie Swan, Sam Pang, and Jonathan Brown.
Chrissie's Celebrity Stuff.
Anne Hathaway was visiting Kelly Clarkson's show.
You know, I'm a big Hathaway fan.
Are you? Well, you're going to be a much bigger fan.
Can sing.
Can sing. How did you know?
I know the story.
She's promoting a new TV show called We Crash, and she stuck around to take part in a karaoke-esque game called Sing That, Name That Tune. Sing That, Name That Tune. Sort of like our Idol in a way, our CSB Idol. Have a listen. That's Anne Hathaway, not Kelly Clarkson. At this stage, Kelly Clarkson is laying face down on a plinth.
Jesus, that's
Great.
incredible.
That's not a massive surprise about Hathaway being able to hold a tune if you saw her performance in Les Mis as Cosette.
Hey,
She's magnificent.
she's a funny lady, talented lady. I went to a film premiere of Get Smart at Movie World on the Gold Coast.
I went to that too here at the Rivoli with Steve Carell.
Yeah, her and Steve Carell. She's a very talented lady.
That's amazing that we saw Steve Carell and like they were here.
Good
And we
value
went
too.
to an event. They were great.
Chrissy, Sam, and Brownie.
It's time to get classy.
Titus O'Reily.
Hats.
He talks about football.
Where?
Mostly on Twitter.
How many?
280 characters.
And on the show as well.
Here he is, our favourite Titus O'Reily.
Gee, it's good to be here. I've been flat out.
It's wonderful to see you. Now, what did you watch? You are a front bar. You know, you're one of us. Did you watch front bar last night? Did you watch the Sonny Bill Williams Barry Hall fight?
Torn between two lovers, obviously.
I've got to confess, I didn't watch either.
Why not?
I was out with David Davis.
Jeez.
Just on the town.
Was he the one who got
can
drunk?
drink.
He's the shadow treasure.
Shadow treasure.
Who was
he had a big night on the
Which is
weekend.
funny, it's Treasury. He couldn't count the rounds.
How does he go? That's not a good sign for his political future. Did you? I said to the guys earlier, a very underrated use of the word hammered.
Yeah.
Hammered's a great way to describe
sums it up.
how
It
he was.
is great, and there's a great quote in The Age that Brownie read earlier.
Don't you love this? After a night out,
I mean, David
Just-
Davis is all of us at the Christmas party.
just waking up to this. Before his colleagues tried to force him out, witnesses said he was behaving in a manner that was making people uncomfortable, including hugging men and women and talking in close proximity to people who did not want to engage with him.
See, Chrissy, that's you since you've stopped drinking.
Exactly. Exactly. I thought that behaviour would be curbed, but it hasn't.
It's gotten worse.
Don't we love that drunken person that gets right up in our grill late in the night?
Yes.
You read that, and I think Titus, he's stealing your moves. By the way, I mean, I've seen you on it.
Also in the news, Ash Barty retiring at 25.
Yeah, now shocking. Like no one really knows the full reason why she wants. She basically said, "My heart's not in it anymore, and I want to do other things." But I love a good retirement. Sport has given us so many great ones, and hers is not the most dramatic.
No.
So the first ever amazing sports retirement, you're going back to sort of the 1890s.
Okay.
Which was a guy called Albert Griffiths. His name was Young Griffo, who's a boxer, Australian boxer who went over the US. He was our first world champion.
Right.
And he used to drink right up until he went into the ring.
Did you write about this in one of your books?
Yeah,
I remember reading this story. It's a funny story.
But he when he retired, he was halfway through like the first round of a match, and he just went, lay on the ground and rolled out of the ring and walked out.
Wow. Like no one would see him, the drop and roll.
Yeah, he just dropped and rolled out. That was, so that's a dramatic one. There was a guy called Vontae Davis who played for the Buffalo Bills. He'd been a long-time NFL player. At halftime, he just decided, I've had enough of this.
Really?
Yep. Said, I quit.
At halftime?
At halftime on television. So it's all on... He's on the sidelines and he just kind of goes, "Nah, see ya," and takes off all his gear and walks out.
That's amazing, isn't it? Did you ever feel that, Jonathan Brown?
All the time. All the time. So, especially
I feel this in this segment, I feel it.
They do say, Brownie, and you would be able to speak to this, that once you start thinking about it, that it is all over. Is that what happened to you? I know your last few years, you had plenty of time to think about it.
Well, lots of injuries. Absolutely. Yeah, well, in 2012, I was going to retire, and then and sort of got talked around. And then, for the next 2 years, I hardly played, but I was injured. But, yeah, you sort of, once it creeps into the mind, it's hard to get through the real hard battles of pre-season and games.
Yeah.
So,
to be fair, though, after you did retire, you had a bit of a fire on the loins. Didn't you try and sort of come back and train again?
Well, I did. I tried hard. You start to fire up again and you think, I've still got it in me. And then I went to training one night at the Baldwin Footy Club, and this young fella who was my opponent charged out. He was the full back, I was the full forward. I charged out to take the mark. He ran straight past me, took a mark on my chest, and I thought he was a gun. And I asked the trainer, geez, that bloke's a gun. Where's he from? He goes, he's the full back of the reserves. So that doused the fire very quickly.
That's when you know you're cooked, right?
But, it's not too late for you to retire in spectacular fashion again. Yeah. Joe Montana is one of the great quarterbacks of all time. This is during the Super Bowl. He joined as the TV special comments man.
Yeah,
and he's in the commentary box at the Super Bowl, and it's his first season commentating. And it gets to halftime, and this is before mobile phones. They all had a desk phone next to them in the commentary box, and at halftime he said, I picked it up and called my wife and said, I don't think I can do this. And she said, just leave. Half time of the commentary of the Super Bowl, he just went. But imagine making that call in front of your colleagues.
It's so unbelievable that it's at that exact moment. I remember my favourite one that I've seen is Mal Meninga losing interest in his political career. After one question.
They asked him, why do you want to do this?
Yeah, and he went, I can't do this.
On
Headphones
radio.
off.
On ABC radio.
It's the best footage I've ever seen.
He said, I'd prep for like 2 months for every question they could ask, and the one question no one had asked him and prepped him for is, why do you want to do this?
He didn't want to end up like David Davis.
Billy Brownless tried to run for a seat, and they asked him, they door-stopped him, all the media at the front of the Premier's office, and they said, what do you think about the Auditor General, who Kennett was having a feud with at the time? And Billy goes, yeah, that's good. And they go, what policies do you want to run on? And he's like, they go, what, like child poverty? And he goes, yeah, that sounds good.
Titus is here.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
It's Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Over 100, joined by our friend Titus O'Reily, and we'll talk in great length about famous retirements, Titus.
Well, it's early too, isn't it? Because Ash Barty's only 25 years old.
Yeah, and imagine being 25 and achieved things. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, where were we all at 25?
Well, if someone had said, if I'd said to anyone, when I was 25, I'm retiring, they would have said, from what?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what have you done?
Retiring from unemployment.
Say about 35 would have been the same.
Retiring from unemployment here.
Mate.
That's what you would have been
Good
doing.
idea.
Doing nothing.
I took long service either. Well, you should retire. You should get out early.
You think I've definitely peaked?
Right,
People will say, gee, you got a long way on, not a lot of talent.
You're a star that shone brightly, but for not long enough.
I'm too beautiful to last too long in this world,
I love it.
Sam. That's all you're
I
saying.
love all these explosive retirement stories.
Well, this one you'll like. This is a guy called Bobby Isaac. He was a NASCAR driver, so you know it's going to be good. In 1970, he was actually mid-race when a mysterious voice, told him to get out of the car and quit, which he believed was God telling him to get out of the car, which he did and never raced again.
That's amazing.
Just pull the car
No one
out.
told him someone had just hacked into his mic. He just heard a voice, a mysterious voice.
Was it Harry Hogg?
That is it.
Days of Thunder reference.
Thank you. Good at something.
Played by the great Robert Duvall. Actually, probably didn't need referencing, to be honest.
No
Everyone's
context.
seen Days of Thunder.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
May I offer you a tidbit?
You may.
Yeah, the role of Harry Hogg, played by Robert Duvall in Days of Thunder, was first offered to Paul Newman, and he declined.
Really?
That's a miss by Newman.
Big miss.
He died
Is
with
that an
regret.
exclusive for this?
It's topical. It's the most topical you're going to get. What else you got, mate?
My favourite, though, this is a guy called Alex Higgins. He was a snooker player. Now, he retired in 1990, and during a major tournament, he lost his first-round match. Now, spectators at that match said that might have had something to do with the fact that during the match, he drunk 27 screwdrivers, which is vodka and orange. Over the course of the single game.
27.
I reckon his nickname was Hurricane.
Yeah,
Hurricane
that's
Higgins.
exactly. He
I
came back
remember it.
later on, Alex Hurricane Higgins.
Screwdriver Higgins after that.
He then after losing, he then was on his way to the scheduled press conference, and he punched the press officer in the stomach for no reason. It wasn't personal or anything. He just did it for sort of entertainment purposes.
It's a bit of horseplay.
Bit of horseplay. He then, at the media conference, he then started slurring, said he was retiring because he didn't want to be part of a cartel, the famous snooker cartel. He called it the most corrupt game in the world, and he said the Prime Minister should look into snooker.
Yes.
He then rambled for quite a while, making little sense, and and just trailed off it. But that 27 screwdrivers will do that to you.
What was it, vodka and what?
Orange
Vodka and
juice.
orange juice. We had
I
another
think
guy.
27. I think that's what Mick Malloy said last week that he had on the golf course, but Negronis.
Yeah.
No, he said 54, so roughly
54.
double. Yeah.
And he was rounding down, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Carlos Roa, he was a goalkeeper playing soccer, and he actually played for Argentina, and he was going to go to Manchester United. He decided to quit, though, because as a devout Seventh-day Adventist, he believed that the end of the world was about to start, and he needed to go and prepare for it in a remote village.
I mean, don't we all?
Ash hasn't ruled that out, is all I'm saying. Now, my favourite ever, this is the last one, my favourite ever one and reason of retiring is a guy called Rory Allen. He played for Portsmouth. He played for Tottenham Hotspur, so he's a big soccer player. This is back in the 2000s. He said he was retiring. He was on £1 million a year, and he went in and said, "I'm retiring to go watch the Ashes in Australia."
Really? Join the Barmy Army.
Seems a fairly permanent move for a temporary event.
The chief executive of Portsmouth said, "Certainly I've never come across a situation like this during all my years in football. To say the conduct is somewhat bewildering is an understatement." So he came out to follow England, quit his £1 million job. England lost 4-1.
Where are the characters in our game?
Mate, they're gone. They've
Titus,
retired.
As usual, an absolute pleasure to see you.
You need to plug anything, brother?
No.
Everything's going well, is it?
So well,
for
I've got nothing on.
Anything for the comedy festival this
I'm
year?
not doing Comedy Festival this year. I'm
Lazy.
I'm going to do shows a little bit later in
Will
the
you come
year.
to a show with me just as a onlooker, as a spectator?
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, no.
Fabulous. I love the
I
festival.
can't say no on air, can I?
No, you can't.
Would you like to
Even
think
though
about that?
your eyes said no.
No, I do want to come.
Okay, let's do it.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Hello, Melbourne. Welcome to your Thursday. What a great day it is. Shaun Micallef is milling outside the studio, and we're very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited / concerned.
Why concerned?
Well, he's half an hour early, so that means he's got to sit there and just,
I'm sure there's a very good and boring reason why he's here so early.
Fine, I'm okay. I'm sitting out here.
I'm going to make you a cup of tea in a minute, Shaun.
I'm doing the socials.
Lovely. He's doing the socials.
There's free muesli bars in the kitchen these days.
Get in there. He just told us a riveting story, too, that it takes him 12 minutes to get to work.
Oh, yeah.
So we're very
That's
excited.
amazing.
We've got a lot of great anecdotes coming up with Shaun Micallef. And then the football tonight.
Yes,
Christine.
who's playing tonight?
Well, Western Bulldogs. Baz Lenker's out. Can you believe it?
That's a shame.
Hey, all the Instagram followers, that's absolutely blown up. And Michael Voss, my old mate, Carlton coach, will be coaching from his lounge room.
Look how invested Sam is in this.
unbelievable.
He's leaned away from the microphone. He's got nothing to say.
I'm devastated because Carlton, the juggernaut, awakes.
1 for 1.
1 for 1. The juggernaut awakes last week, and then COVID brings our coach down. This has got AFL conspiracy written all over it. I reckon
Absolutely.
Gil organised this.
Yep.
Vossi will be getting into some expensive red during the game.
Imagine if he just cracked one open.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Gee, I'd love to have a camera.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Over 100. It is time for a new segment that's going very well.
Imagine start.
Hey, wrong button. What are you going to say, John?
No.
Here we go.
He's not always there when you call, but he is here right now for a phone topic that will blow your mind.
Hey you, do you want a waterbed? Hey you, do you want a club lock? Call now, 30-24-10 for Sam Pang's phone.
Oh my God, I've just seen a moment of pure humiliation and embarrassment because Sam Pang knows that one of his comedy heroes, Shaun Micallef, is listening to this segment that he has put his name to with such phone topics as, do you have a waterbed or do you own a club lock?
Well, they're two of the greats, by the way. I don't know how you
Okay.
measure success, but if you...
Well, I'm going to measure it by asking Shaun Micallef in a moment what he thinks.
Sean, what do you reckon if he's out there?
Sean, he's doing he's pinching his nose as if to say it's a stinker.
Yeah, okay.
That's my ability to read. One of the great mimes, Shaun Micallef. You didn't know
Very
that.
good. No, I didn't.
No, so that we've had, what have we had? Do you own a waterbed?
Is he? Oh, look, he's trying to get out of a glass box now.
Oh, wow. That window's shut, isn't it? And then...
Club lock.
Club lock. Where have you seen Neil Baum?
Huge success,
That was a great one.
I must admit, I loved that one.
Guess
and
what?
I love that format.
That's-
Where have you seen
I'm glad
blank?
you like that format because I think we're going back to it today.
Right.
Because I'm officially, not overly invested in this. I'm glad we didn't go over the top with any production and make it too big with a big opener or anything. So today's phonery
Is it Where Have You Seen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where have you seen? And then insert name here, right?
Yep.
So do you want me to give you the options or you just want me to...
My boobs are tingling. This is a good
no
sign.
options.
No options.
Right, yeah. No options.
You
No
go
options.
straight.
I like options. Come on, we need options, Brownie.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll give you the options, but I'll make the final decision.
We know what the answer's going to be.
All right. This is what I had written down.
Uh-huh.
Where have you seen Mike Larkin? Where I was going to say, where have you seen Shaun Micallef, just so he doesn't leave?
Out in the foyer.
Yeah. Thank you. Or where have you seen Andy Maher?
Oh.
What do you feel in your gut?
Oh, I think that Maher. So I missed Murray last night. He wasn't on front
He's
bar.
got COVID.
Yeah, he has. And, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, someone's got COVID.
No, he's got
in
it.
isolation.
No, he's got it. And at his age, a genuine
Threat?
50-50 to be back too, by the way.
I
This is
won't
what's-
give my story until I know who we're talking about.
COVID has ripped through the nursing home and Murray is right on the line. I think it's going to be Where Have You Seen Andy Maher? What do you say? Out in the wild or whatever you...
Out in the wild.
In the wild.
There's nothing more thrilling. Like the other day, as I said,
Nothing more thrilling.
I pulled up at a traffic light, just a random traffic light, and the pedestrians are walking across the road. I thought, how annoying. Just this random pedestrian crossing, but who's crossing the road?
It wasn't.
Andy Maher.
Was it?
And straight away, I've yelled out, "Hey, Coco!" And without even knowing who yelled it out, he yelled out straight away, "Hey, Guru!"
Yes.
Yes, and
mate.
Kanye West
He's Andy Maher.
ran into him recently.
Yes.
hear her speak to me. Hello, Mari.
Coco,
How you doing?
hitting them well.
I think the storm ran out of rain. The cloud.
Anyway, what do you think, Swanee? It feels
Well, I've
like...
got a really good one, a
do you
good
mean?
recent one. I saw Andy Maher yesterday.
What?
Yesterday.
He's supposed to be in isolation.
Well, you're
Yes, I
in
know.
close contact now. Get
I
out.
was very far away from him. I dropped in a care package because he's got all these daughters and, everyone's at home isolating. And I thought, what would be good, a chicken pie. So I dropped in chicken pie and some other bits and pieces. And he thought it was, something very small, and it turned out to be a big bag. And I sort of got in trouble from Andy Maher yesterday because I dropped the stuff and then he realised about 5 minutes later how much, and he came storming out of the house going, "You've gone over and above. This is too much."
Cocker.
I got admonished for my generosity.
Did he call you knackers?
He didn't. Oh,
By the way,
shags.
when
I
you
was hoping for a shags.
Yeah, when you say care package, right? 3 copies of your book is not necessarily a care package. But all right, that's it. We're doing it.
2410.
Where have you seen Andy Maher in the wild?
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
I need your help.
Yeah.
What is it? What's the 13, 24, 10?
Yeah, that's
because otherwise, if it's not a success this Thursday regular segment, of which I'm more than happy not to do it, but Jack says no, it'd be good.
I know.
But so if it doesn't work, if it's a stinker, then we won't do it.
Oh, if we don't get the opportunity to eventually do Where Have You Seen Mike Larkin in the Wild, I'll be really sad.
That's right. Phone lines are healthy, Christine.
Yes, that's
It'll be
not for
okay.
today, though. Today is
Are
Where
they
Have You
full?
Seen...
No, but they're healthy.
Where have you seen front bar host and General Coco, Andy Maher in the wild? Christy from Rye. Christy.
Hello.
Where have you seen Andy Maher in the wild?
On a date night with my husband at the Peninsula Cinemas in Sorrento.
What, he was on a date with your husband?
I was on the date, not Andy, but Andy was there with a few friends. So, and I got excited because it was a celebrity spotting. So.
Celebrity spotting. of Andy Maher. That's great.
Did you approach him, or did you treat him like a wild bear?
No, my husband tells me off when I do that. He said that's their downtime. So we're in the very small foyer together.
I would argue it's a crime if you don't yell out to Andy Maher if you see him in the wild.
Yeah.
Because he'll have a response for you no matter what.
If you had your time again, Christy, what would your greeting be for Andy Maher?
I usually start off with, I love you, and then I tell them where I know them.
I was looking for Hey Coco.
It's good she didn't. And
Yeah.
she sounds like she's speaking through a pillow.
It does.
Jody, good morning. Where did you see Andy Maher?
Well, it was a Channel 10 cricket promo and a couple of local families down at Blairgowrie Beach. We were there for the day filming this promo. It was Andy Maher and your friend Chrissie and Gilchrist and Ricky Ponting, and we got to play cricket with them all.
My friend Adam Gilchrist.
Of course, the great Formula One host with Christine
This is
Swan.
the face and voice of Formula One. You and Adam
Synonymous,
Gilchrist
some would say.
Yes.
Jody, was he hammered?
Schumacher, Ferrari, Swan. Did you? What was he like, Jody? Was he great company?
Look, disappointing, Sam. He wasn't a showbiz arsehole. He was a really nice guy, and I was really excited to see him. And I was saying to him, love your work on SEN, and I think he was having a bit of a career slump, and he said, Jodes, I'm not quite sure if I'm back next year. And I said, that's quite good, Andy.
I love this. I love this, Jade.
Of course. He says, did you know him? Did you know him? Did you know him before this, or he's just straight away gone to Jodes and telling you he's not sure about his employment?
I got my story. I was like, I just backed away. I was
Yeah,
like,
well, there you go.
That was brilliant,
Welcome to my
I
world.
can just see him, Jodes. I don't know.
Jode comes in and says, I love you on SEN, love your show. Yeah, Jodes, I don't know how it's looking, by the way. Contracts negotiations have slowed down, and don't know if they want me back.
Clearly, though, his career's back on track. And he's sort of wandering around Sorrento and Blairgowrie, spending a bit of time down there.
Who else we got, Dino?
Ari.
Hello, Ari.
Oh, hey. Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Ari?
How old are you, Ari?
I'm 10 years old, and I saw fishing. We went on the
Is it just me, or can I not understand a word?
Is there any danger?
Sorry, we'll bring you back here. We'll bring you back. Go to Lisa first, then Ari.
Ari, if you're on a speakerphone, brother, take it off. Let's
radio does it.
Lisa.
There you go.
Here we clear line. Here we go. Lisa.
Lisa?
Oh, morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can we just say thank you, guys? We love you guys waking up in the morning.
Oh, Lisa, we love you right back. Where have you seen Andy Maher in the wild?
We see Andy Maher all the time, very similar to Jonathan Brown crossing the road on Hoddle Street.
Very good.
And you can't miss him. I don't know whether he doesn't have any other wardrobe than what he wears on the front bar, because he's always got that flannelette shirt on.
Lisa, is he usually, do you spot him in a mobility scooter?
Oops, sorry.
Lace.
That went a bit
Yeah,
far.
hello. Do you know what, though?
Driven into the
Don't
ocean.
worry about it, Lace.
Lace, did he have a happy or a sad walk?
You know what? He's got a happy face on because he's walking with that beautiful big dog of his. And look, he just looks like he's walking along the road saying hello to everyone.
Yeah, not sure the dog is as happy with the situation, but it's I tell you what, when you see him, he makes you smile.
It's so great to see people in the wild, particularly Andy Maher.
Oh.
Ari is back. The phone is good now, apparently. Hello, Ari.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Where have you seen Andy Maher in the wild?
So I went fishing with my dad at a Hastings, and we saw Andy Maher was just fishing right there. Just said hi to him. So
Was he nice to you, Ari? Did you say hello back?
yeah.
Was he catching them well?
We were catching some whitening, and Andy Maher was right next to me.
Yeah.
So
Did he ask you for money?
on the pier. No, probably
Yeah,
not.
well, if he asks, don't give it to him, all right?
Yeah, Andy Maher.
Did he say-
keeps on asking for money all the time?
Did he say Coco or Shags or Knackers or Guru, Ari?
Oh, no, sadly not.
Ari, if you see him
Sadly
again,
not.
if you see Andy Maher again, make sure you scream stranger danger, okay?
Yep. Scream danger. Got you there, bud.
Good on you, Ari.
You are
Well,
the
I like
best.
Ari.
Shouldn't we finish with Ari, maybe, no?
Well, no, you know, on this show, it's funny, we always go well past the point.
We like to milk it until we know that we've really...
Why get out on a high when you can just keep going and drive it right into the ground?
Brett from Armidale, make this good, please.
Yeah, I'll try. He was checking into the RACV club in Healesville. I was the GM there.
Pretty good. Worth the wait.
Well, the problem was I went up to him and said, "Do I know you? You look familiar." And he said, "Oh, yeah, you might have seen me on TV." And I was like, "Actually, no, I don't know who you are. I thought I knew you from somewhere else." So it was a little bit awkward.
Oh, no.
It's a bit deflating. Well, that might have been when his career was struggling at the time.
Exactly.
Did he hit you with all these catchphrases then to try and win you back? Like, come on, what about Guru? Hey, Coco, hey, Shags. Did like any of these ringing a bell?
No, but his mates in the background were doing all of that, so it was quite hilarious.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing worse than seeing Andy with his mates, by the way. You can't come back from that. Anyway, I think that...
As usual, should have finished on Ari.
I think... I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah.
I think that could have been the last phoner, by the way.
It's not.
That'd be it.
No way. I want
What?
to know where you've seen Mike Larkin.
Yeah.
You don't need me here for that.
Hey, Shaun Micallef coming up.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Shaun Micallef. You may have seen him on Mad as Hell, on The Source, or Talking About Your Generation. Or in the 2016 film Arrowhead, in which he plays a computer trapped on an alien moon.
Warning. Preliminary readings indicate a native toxic atmosphere. Prolonged exposure may cause paralysis or death. I have knowledge.
Oh, yes, you do, Shaun. You can check out his new show, Brain Estedford, which is coming soon to 10. Here's Micallef.
Welcome, Shaun.
Thank you. Did anyone see Arrowhead, that movie where I played the computer? No. It's a tiny little computer, and I had to climb inside it, and we're out there at Broken Hill in the heat for months and months.
How did the locals take you out there during filming?
I just did the voiceover. I didn't get in anything.
Who else was in that movie?
Don't know. No, Alicia Rose was in it, and Dan Moore was in it. Yes,
know either of them.
Looking at your phones to the IMDb page.
No.
What are you doing?
It says here that no date has been set for this show.
Yeah, I know. I think it's a practical joke.
It's difficult to plug.
I don't think I'm... Yeah, I know. Well, it's nice to come in. It's been 2 years since I've seen you. I didn't even know they were going to announce the show. I just happened to be wandering past. I was down there at Vega, but it wasn't there anymore.
No, it's not. We've both done our time at Vega.
This show sounds... Well, just you and anything's, great. But
It's
what
Shaun
about
Micallef's Brain Estedford.
Yeah, it's a nice catchy title. It fit onto a little badge, I think, or hat,
It's
maybe.
It's a big word.
What's the
Estedford.
Stedford?
What's the elevator pitch for this? Yeah, I mean, when you're the Channel 10 execs, you see them in the elevator and go, what is it?
Oh, I said, well, that's exactly what I did. I got in the lift with whoever runs the place.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
No.
Beverly McGarvey.
Beverly McGarvey. I said, Beverly, I got a great show for you. It involves sitting down and doing an open book exam for an hour. And I don't say anything, and at the end I say, pens down. She said, you're in. Because it's been 10 years since I did a show, I don't know if you remember it, called Talking About Your Generation.
Oh, I loved it. I miss it.
It's been 10 years, Shaun.
10 years. And this is a kind of quiz, it's kind of the same, except you don't get food poured on you. Yet. The show 4, who knows?
I was going to say some format changes depending on the numbers.
Sure. But I have actually forgotten how to host a show, so it's good that I can talk to Chrissie.
I know.
You guys host shows.
No,
you're co-hosts, not quite the same.
Nothing.
I can't believe that you've watched Would I Lie to You. Could you imagine the horror of Shaun Micallef watching you host a show?
Why wasn't he on it? Why didn't you ask him on it?
I don't have any power over that. He would have been asked.
I was asked.
Oh,
and I said, under no circumstances will I be on. No, I was too scared to do it, so I thought I'd just watch it and see, because Frank's on there, and Frank's. I thought Frank. This is before I'd seen it, because it's great. It's great. Everybody's great on the show. But I thought, Frank's always funny. I need to be the funniest one on the show. So I want to see how poor everybody is and how terrible it is before I agree to go on.
He'd be magnificent on it. It sounds like his brain is Stedford a little bit like Australia's Greatest Spelling Bee. Or Australia, what was it your show called?
Great Australian Spelling Bee.
Great Australian Spelling Bee.
Better than that rubbish.
Yeah.
There you go. We've set the bar.
It's more than spelling. There's other stuff in it as well. I could tell you stories. I could, because I basically, how this story came? This show came to be because I was cleaning out my father's shed back in Adelaide and saw that he had boxes containing my school notes and books and everything from when I went in year 10, 11 and 12. And I thought this would be an interesting TV show. And I got Channel 10 to pay for cleaning out my father's shed.
Have I ever done my Adelaide gear with you? Sounds like we're going to do some heroin.
Sure, we'll do that in the break.
Can you finish this song?
Oh.
94 Gooja, 94 Gooja, 94 Gooja.
Street?
Yes.
Well, that's obvious.
Fairly obvious.
That's
Do you remember the ad? Do you
no.
know what's at 94 Gooja Street?
No, is it a fish place?
It's a Cane Corner.
Cane Corner, okay.
Hey, around the corner, there's Cane Corner.
No, I wasn't there.
What about this one?
Okay.
You'll love it at
Le Cornu's.
Yes.
Le Cornu's. My wife and I bought our first lounge suite from Le Cornu's. It was pink and had white flowers on it.
And was it $17,500?
It was.
It's crazy money.
I doubt it very much, given it was our first one and we had nothing. I imagine it was probably in a skip out the back. We just picked it up.
The Cane Corner. Did they? Yeah. What's that shop sell? Canes.
Cane. No. Cane chairs and tables and stuff.
I hope it's still there.
It's not. I've googled it.
Why? Why did you Google? What are you going to get?
I've got a lot of time on my hands, Shaun.
You wanted to have some cane furniture.
I like the information. I like that sort of information. Speaking of information, there's so much on this sheet that I want to get through. As a young man, Shaun wanted to be a priest.
Yeah, why is that on there?
I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, is that on the brain of Stedford?
You want to go through?
You've gone from priest to lawyer.
That's weird,
to comedian.
Shaun.
That is weird.
Why?
I reckon they've just gone to where have they gone? They've gone to the Wikipedia. Yeah. This is the extent of the publicity at Channel 10.
What denomination?
I was probably 50. I was probably the age that a lot of these brain of Stedford contestants would be. I thought it'd be. We were told that we would hear the voice of God. That perhaps asking us to be priests.
Yeah, I got told.
Imagine Shaun Micallef doing the sermon.
I can actually see it.
I'd start going back to church.
Absolutely.
I'd be Pope if I'd done it. Yeah. I'd be Pope now.
That's
I reckon.
True.
Absolutely. As a high achiever, you would have just gone through, progressed through the ranks and
straight away. I think you're right. I'd be Archbishop. Wouldn't even worry about bishop.
You could play priest. You could play a priest in a sitcom.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, it's difficult, isn't it? With anything to do with priests now, it is difficult to kind of deal with it at all.
You wouldn't want to.
Do you have a chaplain here at Nova that comes in and looks after you?
Mike Purcell and down at Smooth.
Jen Hansen when Mike's not available.
It's like a confession booth down there at Smooth. What about what sort of lawyer were you?
I was damn good.
Yeah.
I would be probably Chief Justice of the Hague. I'd be hearing war crimes. I'd be looking after Putin, I reckon. in a couple of weeks.
You're an insurance lawyer.
I was. And I've given you advice before. You're not going to ask me for advice again.
No.
I got you all that money for your flood. Your flood damage.
Company's been good to me over the journey.
I said, look, there's a difference between storm damage and water damage, Brownie. So make sure you fill the form out properly.
Mate,
and you did well, didn't you?
I can't believe for that advice you gave. I can't believe you didn't send the invoice.
Well, you told me off air you got more than you've made up stuff on the form. You know,
I weren't supposed to talk about that on air.
They believe that you actually had the original Mona Lisa down in your basement.
It was amazing.
Loves to cook, apparently.
No.
Is that true?
That is not true.
Well,
Let me
that
look at this.
says loves to cook. Sean loves to cook.
I don't cook anything. That's nonsense. What rubbish. They obviously didn't have any information.
No, the best one is in 1976, Shaun portrayed Humphrey B. Bear for personal appearances.
Personal reasons.
That's got to be true because Humphrey B. Bear hails from Adelaide.
I did do, yes, I did. Well, I was in like a kids pantomime thing. I was in a kids troupe, essentially. And because I was really tall, I was 14 years old. Because I was 6'2" at 14, they said, "Oh yeah, I think you'll fit into the costume." So when the actual inhabitant of Humphrey got a bit tired during his scenes, he'd go off and rehydrate and get his air, and I'd go on for a couple of scenes for him. But I had to wear the really old Humphrey costume. Like he had his own. He wouldn't let me get into his sweaty pelt. I had to get into some old hide that had been made in the 50s. So I was a little moth-eaten, and I got, and basically you move the mouth by having a little pad of polystyrene on your chin.
Yeah.
And I got pyorrhea as a result of it.
What's pyorrhea?
Pyorrhea is a whole bunch of mouth ulcers. My teeth almost fell out because of some filth or whatever sweat had been in Humphrey in 1958.
Pyorrhea.
Ended up entering my body and changing me. Have you seen The Fly? I was like a Brundlefly, very slowly turning into a bear.
Shaun, genuine question. What is your ideal Saturday night?
That's come out of left field. I probably, in the old days, I would go out. I would always go out.
But
now, nothing. No, I don't even do anything. I just sit in the
it can't be just nothing.
No, literally nothing. No, I sit.
You're a non-drinker.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't play a musical instrument. I don't eat.
Were you good on when you were drinking? Were you fun?
I was very charming. I seem to recall that I was very attractive to women and men. But I was quickly disabused of that notion when someone took some photos. Yeah. But in a time when they didn't appear on social media or they don't exist forever on the internet.
Can you recreate the photos here just for our own enjoyment?
Yeah, okay, here we go. No one's looking?
No,
good.
no
All right,
one's
here
looking.
we go. that expression on my face now, that was the one that made me think, wow, really?
Oh, my God.
I'm not quite that charming.
You know we love you, and it has been way too long, so we're not going to let you... What are you watching at the moment? This year of binge watching, are you doing anything?
just finished watching the Toni Collette series, Pieces of Her.
And?
I thought it was exceptionally good. About episode 2, I twigged that they'd shot it up in Queensland and everybody was doing American accents. And I knew Toni Collette's obviously Australian.
Yes.
So, I kind of figured that. So, there's David Wenham. Oh, he's doing an American accent. Oh, that's interesting.
I sat down someone recommended it to me, and I sat down with my 13-year-old who's very mature. At about five minutes in, there was an open fire scene in a cafe, and I just went, probably not for you.
Shaun, we got to go. But Brain of Stedford, it's coming soon to 10.
You didn't describe what it was, by the way.
Yeah.
The show?
Yeah.
It's kind of like University Challenge, but with year 11s.
Right on.
Okay. And mad as hell, how many more eps to go? Amazing.
We got 4 left, so you can watch it at some point. It's 10 years we've been on, Brownie, and
it's amazing.
He's never seen it. He's never seen the show.
Damn it.
What?
No, you're so disingenuous when you're saying Shaun Micallef's one of the greats and all that. You don't even watch his show.
I couldn't watch it last night. I had my own show.
He's got his own show, which I don't watch.
He's kind of a big deal.
It's an arrangement we have.
What upset at Shaun for not watching my show?
You don't have to go home and watch the replay of your show.
Yes.
You can actually watch Mad as Hell.
If you're as good as I was last night, you do.
I don't like Sammy because he's a TV star. I don't like him at all.
No, why would you? I am going to text you and go walking with you, and hopefully we get in the Daily Mail.
Let's get COVID together and isolate for a week.
All right, well, Brandy, what should we do?
Yes.
I'm going to come over and flood your basement.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
Had a late night last night, Dino. We started watching Barry Hall and Sonny Bill Williams. The fight card started at 6 p.m.
Time the fight come on?
10:45. How long did it last, Dino?
Mate, just 40 seconds.
I think it was 1 minute 40, wasn't it?
Swanee, if you You wait 4 hours. I know that's boxing. I get it. But wow, that's a big letdown.
What
mate.
was the 4 hours filled with?
Or pre-fight. So there's about 7 or 8 fights. And, of course...
You've lost me already.
Darren McMullen, is it? Of course, when I think of boxing, I turn to Australia's great boxing announcer, Darren
like
McMullen.
the voice of boxing.
The voice of boxing on Stan. And then Dave Gleeson, Screaming Jets, did a 9-minute version of Better.
The Screaming Jets guy was going off. He was really taking it for a walk.
Good on him.
And everyone in the stadium just wanted to see this fight.
Well, he knew how long the fight was going to go for. So he's just trying to drag it out.
I'm not ripping into Barry Hall here, but it was real bad.
Well, he's 45 years old. It was a shock to us all. Baz got knocked out in the first round.
What's the shock of a 45-year-old man getting knocked out?
Well, I know, but when Barry walked out, you go, actually, he looks little compared to Sonny Bill's a monster, and he's 10 years younger. So you're thinking, maybe we got what we didn't expect, but maybe that was actually what was going to happen.
Stan made a bit of coin last night.
I don't like boxing.
Anyway, Baz is okay.
I don't like it.
He's okay, but
I'll
it was a
never
shock.
watch it. It just looks like... I know you say it's the sweet science.
The sweet
whatever.
science?
I can't see
They're in the
it.
squared circle last night, Christine.
It just looks like violence to me.
Well, it was violence. He got knocked
you're
out.
right. I know
awful.
you're a MMA girl. I know that. So you love the
Octagon.
You
Yeah, I
love
do.
the octagon.
Unless
I know
it's in
that.
a cage, I'm not interested.
Oh, well, that's right.
Tomorrow, no Sam, because Friday, Dave in, and Nath Valvo's popping by.
Fantastic.
Have a great day.
Have a great Thursday, Melbourne.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.